She's the kind of person who walks into a room and lights it up, not with just her smile, but with her presence. There's a quiet strength about her, a grace that doesn't shout for attention but commands respect. She listens deeply, as though every word you say matters, and when she speaks, it's like she's sharing a piece of her heart. She's fiercely kind, the kind of kindness that doesn't feel like an obligation, but something deeply rooted in who she is. I adore her because she makes the ordinary feel extraordinary. Whether it's the way she cares for people, the way she laughs at silly things, or the way she stands her ground when it matters, she's unapologetically herself. She reminds me of all the good in the world and inspires me to be better, to love harder, and to live fuller. That's who she is, and that's why I adore her. What sets her apart isn't just her actions, it's her perspective. She sees beauty in places where others might not even look. The way she notices the subtle things. A child's laugh in a crowded street, the colors of the sky before a storm, or the hidden pain behind someone's forced smile. It's like she has the secret ability to uncover the layers of life that most people overlook. She doesn't rush. While the world seems to move at breakneck speed, she moves through it with intention. There's something calming about the way she approaches life. She's not in a race to prove herself or to meet society's endless expectations. She just exists in this steady, beautiful rhythm that makes you want to slow down and match her pace. But don't let that calm demeanor fool you. There's fire in her too. It's not the kind of fire that burns recklessly. It's the kind that fuels her determination, her passion, and her resilience. She stands up for what's right, even when it's uncomfortable or inconvenient. When she believes in something, there's no convincing her otherwise. I adore her for this quiet duality. She embodies soft but unbreakable, gentle but fiercely passionate. She's like a river, calm and serene on the surface, but carrying immense strength beneath. Every moment spent with her feels like a gift, and even her silence speaks volumes. It's in those small, quiet moments when words aren't even necessary that you truly realize how special she is. Her heart is her greatest treasure, and it's the kind of heart you don't encounter often. She has this innate ability to make people feel seen, truly seen, in a way that breaks through the noise of the world. Whether it's a stranger, a friend, or someone who's wronged her, she treats everyone with the same unwavering dignity. What amazes me most is how she carries herself through the storms of life. She doesn't pretend to be invincible. She feels deeply, she hurts, and she grieves, but she never lets those moments define her. Instead, she turns her pain into strength, her struggles into lessons, and her scars into stories. She's not afraid to be vulnerable, and somehow that makes her stronger than anyone I've ever known. And then there's her mind, sharp, curious, and endlessly creative. She's the kind of person who will dive into something she knows nothing about just to learn, just to grow. She doesn't settle for surface-level understanding. She craves depth, whether it's in conversations, relationships, or the world around her. When she talks about her passions, her eyes light up, and you can't help but be drawn in. It's as though she's inviting you to see the world the way she does, full of endless possibility. I adore her because she makes life feel richer. She doesn't just live. She experiences everything with her whole being. She reminds me to appreciate the little things, the warmth of the sun on a cold morning, the joy of a shared laugh, the quiet magic of simply being present. She teaches me without even trying that life isn't about perfection or grand gestures. It's about authenticity, connection, and finding meaning in the everyday. She has this way of making you want to be better, not because she demands it, but because her presence inspires it. Being around her feels like being reminded of all the things that truly matter in life, and that's a rare gift. What makes her even more extraordinary is her resilience, the quiet kind, the one that doesn't demand recognition. She's faced hardships that would have broken others, but she carries her scars, not as reminders of pain, but as badges of survival. She's not bitter, not hardened by life's unfairness. Instead, she's chosen to let those experiences mold her into someone even more compassionate, someone even stronger. She believes in people even when they don't believe in themselves. I've seen her encourage others when they're at their lowest, lifting them up with words that feel like they were crafted just for them. She doesn't just say what people want to hear, she says what they need to hear, truth wrapped in kindness, and somehow she always knows the difference. Her laughter, though. Oh, her laughter. It's not just a sound, it's an invitation. It's the kind of laughter that pulls you in, that makes you forget whatever weight you're carrying. It's pure, unfiltered joy, and it has this magical ability to fill a room, to make you believe, even if just for a moment, that everything is going to be okay. I adore her for the way she loves. She loves fiercely and without reservation, but she's no fool. She doesn't let people take advantage of her kindness, and she knows when to walk away from something or someone that no longer serves her. But when she gives her heart, she gives it fully, completely, and with a vulnerability that's both brave and beautiful. And yet, despite all her qualities, she never sees herself as extraordinary. She's humble to a fault, often brushing off her own accomplishments or downplaying her impact on others. She doesn't realize the way people gravitate toward her, the way her presence alone has the power to make someone's day better. She doesn't know, and maybe that's part of what makes her so special. It's not just who she is, it's who she inspires others to become. That's why I adore her. She's a reminder of all the good that exists in the world, of all the light that can still be found, even in the darkest times. There's something mesmerizing about the way she connects with the world. She carries herself with an authenticity that's impossible to ignore. She doesn't try to be anyone else, and that alone is rare in a world so desperate for masks. She's flawed, of course. She makes mistakes, gets overwhelmed, and sometimes doubts herself. But even her imperfections make her more human, more relatable. She doesn't pretend to have it all figured out, and that honesty is its own kind of strength. One of the things I admire most is her generosity, not just with material things, but with her time, her energy, her whole self. She'll drop everything to be there for someone who needs her, whether it's a friend going through a rough patch or a stranger who simply looks lost. It's not about obligation for her, it's about who she is. She has this unshakable belief that kindness, even in its smallest form, can ripple outward and change someone's life. And she listens, truly listens. When you talk to her, it feels like you're the only person in the world. She doesn't just nod and wait for her turn to speak. She hears you, she absorbs what you're saying, and she responds with a depth that makes you feel valued. It's in those moments that you realize how rare someone like her is, someone who makes you feel seen, even in the chaos of life. But perhaps the most striking thing about her is her courage. It's not loud or boastful. It's quiet, steady, and resolute. She's the kind of person who will face her fears head on, not because she doesn't feel them, but because she refuses to let them define her. She's walked into situations that would terrify most people and emerged stronger, not by avoiding the pain, but by embracing it and learning from it. Her courage isn't just for herself either. She uses it to stand up for others, to fight for what's right, even when it's not easy. She's the voice of reason in a room full of chaos, the person who won't stay silent when she sees injustice. And even when the world pushes back, even when she's met with resistance, she doesn't waver. I adore her because she's real. She's not some idealized version of perfection. She's a living, breathing, feeling human being who chooses every day to make the world a little brighter, a little kinder, a little more hopeful. And in doing so, she inspires me to do the same. Her impact on others is something truly remarkable. People gravitate toward her, not because she seeks attention, but because she naturally exudes warmth and acceptance. She has a way of making everyone feel like they belong, like they have a place in her world, no matter who they are or where they come from. That kind of inclusivity is rare, and it's one of the many reasons she leaves such a lasting impression on anyone lucky enough to meet her. What's even more inspiring is how she handles challenges. Life hasn't always been kind to her. She's faced moments of heartbreak, betrayal, and disappointment, but she's never let those moments turn her bitter. Instead, she carries those experiences with grace, using them as fuel to grow and evolve. She doesn't dwell on what could have been or wallow in regret. She chooses to move forward, to focus on the things she can control, and to find light even in the darkest corners. And then there's her creativity. Whether it's the way she tells stories, the way she solves problems, or the way she makes even the simplest things feel special, her mind is constantly working, dreaming, imagining. She sees possibilities where others see dead ends, and she has this gift for turning the ordinary into something extraordinary. It's like she views the world through a lens that adds color and texture to everything around her, and being part of that world, even for a moment, feels like a privilege. She's also fiercely independent, but not in a way that shuts others out. She knows who she is and what she wants, and she doesn't compromise her values for anyone. Yet she's still deeply connected to the people she loves. She strikes this incredible balance between being self-reliant and being an anchor for those who need her. It's as though she's figured out the secret to being both strong and vulnerable, both independent and deeply connected. Her laughter is contagious, but her silence is just as powerful. In those quiet moments, when she's lost in thought or simply taking in the world around her, there's an undeniable depth to her. You can tell that she's someone who feels everything deeply, someone who spent countless hours reflecting on life, love, and everything in between. And yet she doesn't carry that depth like a burden. It's more like a quiet strength, something she draws on when the world gets heavy. And when she loves, it's unlike anything else. She doesn't just love with her heart. She loves with her entire being. Her love isn't conditional or performative. It's real, raw, and boundless. She doesn't love for the sake of appearances or out of obligation. She loves because it's who she is. And being on the receiving end of that love is nothing short of life-changing. I adore her for all of this, and so much more. She's a reminder of what it means to be human, to be flawed and beautiful and resilient all at once. She doesn't pretend to have all the answers, but she's not afraid to ask the questions that matter. And in doing so, she makes you want to ask those questions too, to dig deeper, to dream bigger, and to live more fully. Thanks for watching.